Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our brother Arce with us this morning.
Hey.
And we got a special guest in the building.
The champ is here.
Amanda Serrano. Welcome. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, It's a little too early for me, but for you guys, I'll sacrifice.
You was at the parade yesterday.
Yes, it was amazing. I was there in 2019. I got honored as one of my Guinness Book of World Records for 7 division, and it was like a complete different parade this time. Everyone knew who I was.
Of course.
People screaming my name. It just felt so welcoming and so awesome.
Yeah, you won, like you just said, titles in 7 different weight classes. Are you chasing greatness? Or are you chasing something deeper?
I'm chasing legacy, and I believe I've accomplished that already. You know, I'm the first Puerto Rican to become undisputed, male or female, and first 7 division world champion. So now it's just doing other stuff.
Making money.
Making money and opening the doors and continuing to open the doors for women in the sport.
You know, he mentioned 7 divisions. People don't realize how difficult that is. The only fighter that has done more is Manny Pacquiao. We just talked about him. Has done 8 divisions.
And that's questionable, Hawk. You should know.
But that's what's in the books, right?
Yeah.
So what she's done is like, it's insane, right? But there's another division that you haven't fought in, 147, right? And I just want to throw that out there because I know that Claressa is a lot bigger. She's fighting heavyweight, 154, 160, but she's a big name in the sport. And for some reason, you girls were cool, but it's like tension. Like you put out a tweet that I actually respected your tweet, like because it's kind of like you were fed up of her attacking MVP, your promoter. Is that a pipe dream? If she came down 147, could that fight ever happen?
Well, tell her what's your natural weight first.
No, I'm the champion. Currently, I'm the featherweight champion, which is 126 pounds.
20 pounds, Jesus!
I am fighting for the title at 140 with Katie Taylor.
Okay.
But respectfully, I respect Claressa, what she's done in the sport. I respect her as an athlete, her accomplishments. But I came here today to talk about July 11th, to talk about me, to talk about the girls that are making history at Madison Square Garden on Netflix. So,
She said something. She said that the Manny 8 is questionable. Why?
Because he won in 2 divisions. They were in world titles. They were like regional titles. All my divisions was world titles.
Got you.
Now, I need to ask, when gaining that much weight, right, when you're naturally 126 and you have to gain 20 pounds, how does that affect you, affect your speed, affect your strength, and affect your mental?
It does. It does affect you. People don't realize it. It's harder for me to go up in weight than to make the lower weight because I walk around 134, 135. So it's easy for me to drop 10 pounds. But when I'm going up, a lot of these girls, they can withhold my power. They can, the power is, I still have power at that weight, but it's just a lot easier for them to withhold it. And it's I have to be constantly eating. My trainer, my sister, everyone's like forcing me, you have to eat.
You got to eat healthy. It's not like you eating burgers.
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not hungry. I just finished training. I'm not hungry. And they're like, no, you have to eat because I can lose weight really, really fast. So,
I refuse to believe you ate healthy yesterday after the Puerto Rican parade.
Definitely.
I know everybody you know was cooking.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't. But I had a fried fish sandwich. Surprisingly, not Puerto Rican food. No. But it was crazy. It was crazy.
Well, you're fighting. Speaking of July 11th, you are fighting Katie Taylor. You already fought her twice, right? Now, what are you doing differently this fight?
Yeah, definitely. I brought in new people for the camp. I have a nutrition coach now, Sydney Miller. She's been helping me, feeding me good food. I have a running coach. His name is Spencer. He's the one who helped Tito Trinidad in all his fights. So that's been a great help for me. I hired another assistant coach that's helping me keep my distance, helping me like with my head movement and boxing and stuff like that. But listen, me and Katie had 20 great rounds together. We bring great fights. We show the fans that we can fight. And this fight is going to be no different. We had headlining Madison Square Garden on an all-girl card. And the good thing is that all these girls are coming to fight. So we don't know who is going to be the fight of the night. So all of us are stepping our game up. I'm stepping my game up. I need this win on paper. I believe I won both fights, but this one is different because I need the judges to see that that I won this fight. I need this fight on paper. So yeah, we're working a little different, smarter, and I believe the third time's the charm.
And you know, the fact that they're fighting a trilogy, even though Katie got both decisions, speaks to like how close those fights were and how many people felt you even won both of those fights. What fight you think was close out of the first two?
The first one was a good fight. My coach told me after the fight, he said, I think it's 96-94. It's pretty close. So when the first judge said that, he looked at me, he said, you see, I got
Right.
we got it. But the second one, I think, was pretty clear that I won. I landed 107 more punches on Katie Taylor.
Make no sense.
And people say that I get hit a lot. Listen, 107 punches, that's a lot of punches.
And you did it.
And you heard her in the sixth round. What was it, the sixth round you heard her, I think it was?
The first one was the fifth. The second one was the first, and a couple of rounds. Like, I've heard Katie every fight. Both fights I've heard her. She's never really hurt me other than the headbutts. But, you know, I respect Katie as a fighter. She's a great fighter, a great champion, and she's going to come to fight. She needs this win to be, like, convincingly. She needs the fans to say, okay, Katie won this fight. And listen, I'm a professional. I'm a champion. If Katie was to beat me, like, clearly, I would say hats off to Katie. Katie, you're a great champion. You're a great fighter. You beat me. But I just don't feel it. The fans don't feel it. My team doesn't feel it, doesn't see it. So I'm like, God, it's just this one is like the last hurrah.
How do you feel confidence in the judges during that now, right? Because you think you lost, you think you won both of them, you feel like you were cheated. So how do you still have that confidence in the system and the judges? Because the punches show.
Yeah, I know that's the only thing that I'm like, we need better judges, and hopefully the team gets that work before I step into that ring, because I feel like those two fights, it was like 4 against 1 or 5 against 1, because it's the judges, Katie, and the referee. The referee wasn't on my side the last fight as well. So I just want a fair fight. I just want me and Katie to fight, and the winner, you know, takes it all. I mean, it's just.
How do you fix the politics of boxing, though? Because, I mean, you can clearly watch those fights and tell boxing politics came into play. So how do you fix that?
Yeah, and it's not just my fight. You know, you see it every day, every time there's a fight. I mean, that I don't know. I don't know if the judges are influenced by the crowd or they're influenced by the promoters, or it's just really hard. I don't know what they're thinking, what they're seeing. I don't know if they need to watch it in a screen, because I watch fights front row, and it's really hard to see. Yeah, it's so hard to see a good fight. Sometimes the referee gets in the way. I just don't know what they're seeing. I've seen fights where the judges have to like be moving around to actually see the action. Like, and then if the person's back is against that one judge, you don't know what's happening. So I don't know if maybe a screen would be a better. I have no idea. But it needs to be
better
fixed.
judges. I mean, boxing is the only sport where you can keep messing up at your job and never get fired. Like judges that judge bad fights always wind up judging more fights. You know, so I think the commission and all the states the judges need to be judged sometimes. But I want to go back to the second fight. What round was it that you got the cut again? I forget what round.
I think it was the fourth. The fourth, was it? Yeah,
So you fought 6 rounds with blood in your eye. How do you avoid those headbutts like going into the third fight? Like, is there a strategy where we know what Katie does? Like, is there something you're gonna do to kind of avoid getting hit with the head again?
Yeah, maintaining our distance, definitely, because once I hurt her, I know she's gonna come in and try to hold me and try to grab me and then use her head. I mean, she's very good at using her head. But, I mean, not taking anything away from Katie. She's a great champion, and she's very, very skillful fighter. But, you know, I think what I got hurt the most was with the head, and the second headbutt was so painful. Like, people don't know. The first one was like, oh, okay, whatever. Right. But the second one, it was a very open wound, and it hit the bone. And I was like, I saw black for a second. I was like, what is going on? And that's why I was just I was pissed off. I was like, oh my God. And then there was no help with the referee. The referee wasn't really warning her with the headbutts. But listen, this happens in the sport of boxing, and it's just on to the next one.
How much does a fight? I'm sorry.
You did say third time is a charm, and I'm with you, but are you prepared for it to go the other way? Like, what would it mean for you to win, to lose the third time to Katie Taylor?
It will suck. I'm like, my God, 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm not putting that into the universe. I'm manifesting a win like I always do. But you know, like I said, if she wins the way she's supposed to win, then I'm gonna be like, listen, okay, she got it. But I'm just hoping that the judges are watching the fight in differently.
Well, you and Katie had the best fight on that card because Jake Paul and Tyson sucked, right? But when I think about that fight, I think about how bloody it was. Like, it looked like Mortal Kombat. Right?
It did.
How much does that take out of you?
Well, it takes a lot out of you, you know. Honestly, knowing that you have this cut, I'm just blessed that I have a great corner. My cut man was amazing. I did not know how big the cut was until I saw it in the monitor. In the monitor, it wasn't that bad. When I went to the back to get stitched up, I was like, oh my God. I brought a tear to my eye because I thought about my family back home watching it on Netflix. I was like, oh, because I know it looks a lot worse on TV. So, but it takes a lot, all that blood. And then it wasn't just that one headbutt. It just kept happening and her rubbing her head on it. So you definitely can feel it. I believe if I did lose a round, it was the round after the cut because I was just like probably still in pain. But that didn't stop me. You saw the heart I had in there. I was like, let's go, let's keep fighting. But it can take a lot out of you.
Yeah, there's been men with smaller cuts that couldn't continue and quit before her. So Jake Paul has signed so many women. Obviously, this is an all-girls card. He's done a lot for women's boxing. Do you feel like you are kind of the reason because, you know, what he done with your career and how successful you've been, that's why women are saying, I want to go there. Look what a man has been able to do.
Listen, Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian, MVP, have changed my life completely. They have changed the sport of female boxing, and I am super proud to be part of them. And yes, I believe that these women, in the beginning, a lot of people had a lot of stuff
negative stuff to say about
Jake
and
Paul.
Nikisa. Yep.
And I took that chance to be with Jake Paul because when I met Jake Paul and Nikisa, they told me where they wanted to go. They asked me how much I was getting paid, what you want to do in the sport, and whatever. They made sure the first card that I was co-main event at, he said, I want the whole card to make the most money that they made. Wow. So he paid me the most money I got paid. Oh,
wow. But before that, how much have you, what was your biggest payday before MVP?
Definitely not 7 figures, way less than that. Right. You know, I got paid $4,000 for world title fights. I got paid
$4,000?
$4,000 for tying up with Miguel Cotto becoming a 4th division world champion.
Wow.
$4,000. So, you know,
how can your team even ask for a percentage of that? I'm not giving nobody no percentage of $4,000.
Exactly. And sanctioning fees and all that stuff.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's been a journey. I got paid peanuts. Like, sometimes I got paid nothing, just to fight, just to maintain. But yeah, that's the difference with Jake Paul and these women. Now that they see that we're making, me and Katie making millions or just making noise, and my fan base, how much it grew being under Jake Paul. Now they want to come along and but I guess they had to see what he really wanted to do with female boxing, and he proved it. He proved it with me, and now he's proving it come July 11th, the first in history at MSG on Netflix. I am super proud to be part of that. And like I said before, this is going to be a card you don't want to miss because we have 2 undisputed championships, 3 unified championships, and you just don't know who is going to be the fight of the night.
Now, you recently pushed for 12 3-minute rounds in women's boxing. You pushed for that hard. Why so much?
Because we talk about equality in the sport of female boxing, and one way to do it is to fight the same time the men fight. You know, we fight. So some men complain that they fight less than us. They fight 2 minutes, 10 rounds.
Right?
Why you want to get paid just like us? So I believe it's one step. We want equality, so we have to fight for what we believe for, what we want. And I'm a big advocate for the 12-3. Katie, she said the rematch, she said she shook my hand and said that we can, if we fight again, we can do it. And she neglected that promise. So I mean, we were fighting 10-2, but I would prefer the 12-3 because I believe if I had that extra minute, I can definitely hurt her and finish her. But I think a lot of us women wouldn't want that because we have a lot more time to show our skills. I believe that the 10-2s is like a sprint for women's boxing. And then the 12-3 is like a little jog and marathon. We can showcase more of our skills and have more time to get these knockouts.
Gotcha. Rumor has it you're the reason why Netflix wanted to stay in boxing. After the first fight in Texas, like how entertaining your fight was, opposed to the others. I mean, look, Jake Paul and Mike, they were what they were, right? Mm-hmm. It was a unique type of fight. But Netflix said, no, we need to see that again. Word. And that's why you fight on Netflix. Is that true? Is there some truth to that?
Well, I mean, the birdie said it. No, yeah, I mean, that's what I want to do. Every time my trainer, Jordan Maldonado, he told me, whenever you have an opportunity, you seize that opportunity. You go out there and you do whatever you have to do to make sure that people tune in, people watch you, people want you. And I knew that fight. I knew the fight with Katie Taylor was going to be a great fight. Mm-hmm. So I said, no matter what I do, I have to just give it my all that night. And I did. And look, now Netflix believed in me and Katie so much that they gave us our own card with all women. Yeah. So they believe in us women. And that's something that really touches me and that really gets me excited because now we have these big networks, big stadiums, big people, big sponsors that are giving their money, giving their time to promote and to give us the spotlight, and I'm excited.
I want to ask you, mentally and emotionally, was it harder fighting her the second time or harder to lose to her the second time?
I guess I never thought about that, but I guess losing to her because when you're a fighter, you're mentally you go in there, you physically prepare yourself and you mentally prepare yourself. Mm-hmm. So me, I felt good physically and mentally. I was like, I beat her the first time. This time I'm going there with more confidence and then it didn't go my way. So I was like, gosh, and I knew and I felt that I won that fight because I kept coming forward and I landed more punches. I threw more punches. And for the judges not to see it my way, it's just like, oh, man, that sucks.
What about the Puerto Rican people? You bought a house in Puerto Rico. You've been living in there. When you went back after that fight, what did the Puerto Rican people say about that second fight?
God, to this day, honestly, if I had $1 for every person that told me that I won that fight,
right.
I wouldn't be fighting. No I wouldn't be fighting anymore. It's just, but to this day, people are like, we got this one, this one. You know, we need to knock out, and you won. And I'm like, I know, I'm happy and proud that I gave my fans, I gave my island such happiness and joy that I did my job. So I'm like, okay, but I still need that win.
How does it feel to fight with, Puerto Rico on your back, right? Those are some of been the biggest fights when you have like a whole island, a whole group of people supporting you. I mean, we've seen it at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, over 1 million plus people. How does that feel? Because you can't let them down now.
No, it's. I mean, with Puerto Ricans, as long as you go out there and you fight and you give it your all, they're super proud of you. But that's one thing. When I see my flag and when I see my people and hear my people cheering for me, that just gives me so much more to go out there. Like yesterday, seeing all those people screaming for me, and I'm like, I gotta go today to the gym and I gotta work my butt off extra hard because I don't want to let them down. And I don't. If I give it my all, I'm not letting them down. But it's not me. It's the judges, guys. But it just brings me so much more like, like I have to do it for them.
Yeah, I don't even know how to at the least say it's a draw.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just to give her the win. How did those losses shape you? Not just as a fighter, but just as a woman and a competitor.
Yeah, well, we always turn those L's to W's, right? That's what Jake Paul says. It's not losing, it's learning. So, yeah, we definitely go back to the gym. And my team, they've been watching both fights, and they see what we need to work on, and that's what we've been working on in the gym. And just go out there and just, like, mentally, I mean, I'm okay. I'm still going in there with more confidence, knowing that I can hurt her, and I did hurt her, and I won. But it's just being ready. I'm putting in the work. I make sure that I check all my boxes before I go out there. I'm running, I'm sparring, I'm training hard, I'm eating right, getting my recovery done. So as long as I do that, I know I'll be okay.
Now you jumped in MMA for a little bit.
Yeah.
You did pro wrestling for a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't done pro wrestling. I practiced it a little bit.
Practice a little bit. Is it the challenge, or is it the competitive nature, or is it the money?
Well, honestly, the MMA, jumping into MMA was part money, because my MMA contract at the time was bigger than my boxing contract, and I was a 6th division, 7th division world champion at that time. So I was like, okay, I do it. It's fighting. Let's try it. I mean, MMA is really, really hard, but yeah, I think it's just the competitiveness in me. Like I love fighting. I love going out there. I love proving to myself that I can do it. I never thought that I would be where I'm at now, being a champion, being a multiple division world champion. I never started boxing to become a world champion. I did it to have something in common with my sister, Cindy, who was a former world champion as well. So I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. But look how I changed the sport of boxing. And I think it's just right now, I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. And now it's just opening those doors for those women. Young girls looking at me in the sport and showing them that anything is possible, that you can do this. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There was so many times that I wanted to retire because it was just not worth it. The money in boxing, so much work you have to put in, and I wasn't getting paid anything. So I was like, but thank God Jake Paul came into my life, changed my life, my career, and now I can change other women's lives.
Now you're the top earner in female boxing, in all of boxing. You talked about contracts, right? To my understanding, you have a lifetime contract with MVP now.
Yes,
yes.
I
don't think any woman has ever had any type of contract like that. What does that look like? What does that mean exactly?
Well, it just means once I retire that I have part of MVP, the company. I will be part of the women's side of it. That's my goal. That's my love. I love empowering women. I love seeing women grow in the sport. Listen, I always told the girls, if it wasn't for me, I want to see them grow. I want to see them make the money. So if the next generation of the women make $10 million, I'm like, yeah, I'm there cheering, like, yes, I help that, because we're making a little bit of millions now, but we want it to grow. We want to see the women's boxing grow. So that's my thing.
Now you talk about Jake. How did y'all meet? How did y'all meet and decide to start doing business?
Well, I had met Jake. I had fought his undercard when he made his pro debut back in 2020, and I knew of Jake because of my nephews. They were big Jake Paul and Logan Paul fans. So I met him there, and then Jake Paul wanted to empower women and put a woman on his card when he fought in Cleveland. And it was for Showtime at the time. And Steven Espinoza, he said, I have this young lady who fought for me a couple of times, Amanda Serrano, you should look her up, whatever. And then they reached out and they said, do you want to fight on Jake Paul undercard? I was like, why not? He has different viewers, he has a different audience. So I was like, that would be amazing. And then they talked about the pay, we're going to pay. I was like, okay, we're going to get it. Yes, let's do it. And then after that, he saw that I fought a tough Mexican champion. It went the distance, but we had a great fight, and they liked the way I fought. They liked the way I act, and they spoke to my manager, Jordan, and they said, what you want to do? We're going to start a company called MVP. Would you like to be a part of it? And we said, you know what? At that time, we was like, we're over. We're not getting the respect. We're not getting the pay. I was already a 7th division world champion, unified world champion, and we still wasn't. So when they gave us the call and the opportunity, we said, let's do it. And
Is it true?
Look,
they said that when you first met him, you went to reach your hand out, and he gave you a fist bump, and you was like, this kid. Was that true?
Yeah, it was true. It was true, because I was so excited, more for my nephews, because I knew of him because I kept hearing his songs, like his everyday bro. So I knew of him. So
Jake Paul got songs?
Yeah.
I know he raps.
So when I shook his hand, he gave me a fist pump. But honestly, I was like, okay, whatever. But there are boxers that don't shake people's hands because of the squeeze in the knuckles, or I don't know, something that's, you know.
So you thought he was trying to play you at first, right?
At first, and then after we spoke about that, because I told him, I brought it up to him a couple of times, and he laughed, and he said that it was that he had COVID, so he didn't want to give it to me. I was like, okay, Jake, but we're cool now. We're cool.
He still could have got COVID though.
With the fist bump, right? But,
Do women boxers have to be with MVP to get the best kind of looks and the best kind of money?
I think so. I think we're changing the game, and I think MVP wants to continue to empower women and give us this opportunity and give us these paychecks that are unheard of. And I think, hopefully, a lot of these other promoters can take a page out of MVP's book and start paying us women better and paying these women who want to sign. But it's just, it's all women have to come together, continue to fight hard, continue to put on shows, and continue to prove that we deserve the paydays, we deserve the spotlight. And I think one day it can change.
Speaking of money and checks, you've obviously made good money in the last few years. Have you gotten to the point where now families coming out of nowhere asking for money? I need help with this. I need help with that.
No. I have a really small, tight-knit family. I mean, now with social media, everybody's my cousin. But that I get a lot. Like, oh, you're my cousin. I'm like, I don't think so. I never met you before.
Oh, you be doing that too? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you have to say no already. No,
I'm
I can't
like,
help you.
Jordan's been in my life. Jordan's also my brother-in-law, my trainer and manager. He's been in my life for 25 years, and he's like, this person said he's your cousin. I was like, Jordan, you know my whole family. That is not my cousin.
Oh, man.
So listen, when it comes to people like, or when it comes to just mentally preparing for a fight, when you hear somebody like a Claressa Shields say she thinks you're going to lose, you know, against Katie for the third fight, does that bother you mentally?
Listen, I go in there, I fight with everything I have. I go out there, I train, I give myself, my team gives me all the tools that I need to go out there and perform to my best ability to win. It's not, I feel like I didn't lose those fights, is what the judges saw. But, you know, it doesn't bother me. It fuels me to go out there and just prove people wrong, prove that I am the winner.
Did you cry after the last fight? And if you did, was it from pain, pride, or just frustration?
I cried more from looking at the cut. It was a pretty big cut. And I cry sometimes even when I win. It is because of happiness. But I'm a crybaby. That's one thing for sure. But yeah, no, I cry. Yeah, definitely. I was frustrated because I'm like, I did everything that I could. But obviously, there's room for improvement, and that's what we're working on, and that's what we're going to change for the third fight.
But you won, right, 7 divisions. This is obviously a big money fight, a big profile fight. But if you do get the victory finally with Katie, what's the next challenge? You know, I know that people talking about Alicia Baumgartner. She's with MVP now. She's around your weight class. What's the next big challenge for Amanda?
You know what the world wants.
No, honestly, right now I'm just fully concentrating on Katie Taylor. That's the one thing that's on my mind, my goal, just to go out there and finally get this win. That's a big enough challenge for me right now, this moment, this second, whole couple of weeks leading up to the fight. And then after that, who knows? Who knows what the world holds for me? The team knows, and I mean, we'll go back and we'll figure it out.
What about your team, like Nikisa and Jake? Like, they have to plan ahead as a company, right? I know you got to focus on Katie, but what is the team saying about what's next?
I don't know.
Because you're already fighting at 140, so they just look a couple
My team is thinking about becoming the undisputed champion at 140 come July 11th, and continuing to help and grow women in the sport of boxing. That's definitely the goal.
Would that be a division?
No. I won at 140 already. I won at 140, then I went down and won at 115.
This is crazy, nuts.
She said one fight at a time, y'all. I just gotta
yes,
get through this right now.
And this is a big fight, but I'm excited just to be on this card, just to have all these women, give them the spotlight so they can showcase their skills, and who knows? I mean, I've been a professional for 16 long years. Wow. It had ups, downs, good times, bad times. Right now, the last 4 years have been fun, have been beneficial, have been super different than what I'm used to coming up into the sport. So I'm enjoying every second, every minute of it, and I can't wait to see the future of women's boxing.
When you retire, what do you want little Puerto Rican girls to say when they mention your name?
That sounds funny. little Puerto Rican girls.
Not just only little Puerto Rican girls. I need a little girl or boy who believes in themselves and want to do something. Just you have to go out there and give it your all. You know, greatness requires sacrifice. I sacrificed my whole life to this sport, and I'm gonna continue to work for them and just believe in yourself. Surround yourself with positive people. Go out there and give it your all. That's all I can ask. And I always tell the young girls, they say, "Oh, I want to be like you," and I tell them, "Don't be like me. Be better than me." And that's what I want to push them for. Just always to be better than me. And that's what I do. I always want to be better than I was yesterday or the fight before. And that's all you have to do.
You gonna have Bad Bunny or Jocelyn Hernandez walk you out? Which one? Because they the two Puerto Rican stars.
Bad Bunny has a concert, his first concert in Puerto Rico is the night of the fight.
Oh,
so
that means
yeah,
Jocelyn. What about Jocelyn Hernandez? You know, she coming.
Jocelyn.
Drop some bars for you.
You know, she had a float. She had a float in the Puerto Rican parade too.
I bet she did. That's my girl. That's Puerto Rican princess right
did.
there. So, all right, I'm gonna see if she can walk you down.
Is a Katie Taylor chapter close after this third fight? Is that are you done?
So. I think
Win
so.
or lose?
I think so. You know, honestly, I said that after the first one, I was like, God, I am so tired of it. I love Katie. Katie's my best friend, but I'm like, how can you love and hate someone at the same time?
Yeah, because that last press conference, I'd never seen y'all go at it the way you did. She threw shots saying you're delusional, and you came with the helmet. Was the football helmet? Headgear to the press conference, insinuating I don't want to get hit with. So it's not as friendly as it was before
that was just something that was just
it was good. It was a good idea.
But then the day after, we had to do like promo and photo shoot, and we was just laughing and talking on like regular. But yeah, I think she's kind of probably tired of me too.
Well, what if you beat her and she says, "I won 2, you won 1, let's do it again"?
Damn.
Money talks.
Money talks. But like honestly, I told myself, I said, God, but because it's been like our talks of both our names since she turned pro, and we wasn't even in the same weight class at the same. Well, I'm never at her same weight class, but I'm like, who is Katie? But Katie Taylor's brought eyes to the professional boxing world, which is good. But it's been like that for years. I was like, oh my God, I'm kind of tired of Katie Taylor.
Well, we all know what the ultimate payday is. I don't know what that weight would be between you and Claressa, but that would be the ultimate payday and the ultimate match in women's boxing.
Listen, it can be, but just like I said, I'm here promoting July 11th, and it's just.
But would you go to 147? That forget about would you for
there.
that fight? Would you?
No, that's not true. I'm not almost there. I can barely make 140, and this fight is at 140.
You look brolic.
That's good for eating. Good eating and training hard. But yeah, I'm not a natural 140, a natural 135. I'm a natural 126. I walk around at 134. So like I said, going up in weight, it's really hard for me. It's a lot harder for me than losing weight. And people look at me like I'm crazy. Like, oh my God, losing weight is hard. No, gaining weight for me is
you're
hard.
lean. You got fast
because
metabolism.
when I'm constantly working hard and training hard, I sweat so much and I lose weight so fast. So I'm like, no, like.
But you can make 147 if you had to.
No, I know I can't.
Oh.
No, I won't.
I can't. I won't.
Because the heavier you go, the more
you lose more.
Yeah, and my power is still there. But like I said, these
20 million, you won't go up to 147?
No, I can't.
All right.
For 20 million, I go up to 147. But
you could whip his ass.
I'm sure.
How does it feel when you walk in the gym sometime and know you better than 99% of the men?
It boosts your confidence. You can walk around. Like sometimes I walk around in the street and I'm like, only if they knew.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. You're fighting Madison Square Garden, July 11th.
Absolutely.
All my Puerto Ricans, but equals, go buy your tickets, get out there and support. Yes, I'm saying right now because I was on the float yesterday.
Thank you. Yeah, we're making history. An all-women's card. Great fights. Honestly, me and Katie had 2 great fights, but I don't know. We up for some good competition this fight.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, Amanda Serrano.
Thank you.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.